What's going on, y'all? Y'all back in the lab with Abrew, King David, and Lady T. We're here to discuss the UGA losing to Bama last night, and also we're going to talk about the Falcons win today against the Washington Commanders. But as always, we're going to start with the UGA Dogs losing to Bama for the 10th time, man. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting frustrating, and at this point, I'm just tired of it. I was really had high hopes for this UGA team, but they're not ready. The coaching staff not ready. It seemed like Kirby was had deer in the headlights syndrome, and when we could have tied the ball game up, they decided to go for a trick play, 4th and 1. So I don't understand what's going on with these guys, especially when it comes to Bama. We always lose stupid games like this, and I'm gonna say this right here. As of right now, Kalen DeBoer is Kirby Smith's stepfather. Nick Saban is his daddy, and Kirby and Kalen DeBoer is Kirby Smart's stepfather. That's how I feel, man. King David, what you think on that?
It's a heartbreaker, bro. But I think it's bigger than the play on the field, to be honest with you. When we look at everything has been switched out. Position coaches have been switched out.
Mhm.
Players has been switched out on both sides of the ball. Head coach has been switched out. Only constant is Kirby Smart. My personal opinion, I think a deal was made somewhere down the line before Kirby came over to Georgia. I think a deal was made. To be
Mhm.
perfectly honest, Georgia, when they played Bama, he always is unprepared. I think it's a deal between Kirby Smart and Alabama some kind of way or someone over there where we're not going to really beat them on a consistent basis. Now, I think the sacrifice of that is Kirby is going to go on to become surpass Nick as a coach and become the
Mhm.
greatest college coach to ever coach a game. But I think Bama always going to be that kryptonite because an agreement was made somewhere.
And I hate to say it, but I kind of agree with you on that. And Lady T, what do you think on this?
I just don't know what to think. It's disappointing. But it makes sense. It does make a lot of sense that a deal was made because it just, to lose this many times. Nick Saban isn't a coach anymore. We're still losing to Alabama as if nothing else had changed. Um, it's confusing as a fellow fan, and I don't know. I want to change the narrative, but it just seems like we're stuck here, and it makes watching future Alabama games, not interesting to me anymore.
And I agree with that. I was talking last night, and I was talking my junk. You know, I'm gonna talk my junk online and it would on our TikTok, unnecessary roughness on TikTok and unnecessary roughness on our YouTube page, bro. And I was talking mad junk about because I truly thought this was the year Kirby get over the hump. But yes, I think it's bigger than that. I think it's bigger than this, and we won't beat those guys on a consistent basis, bro. And so I'm telling him, as for me, it's about like watching the Saints game when Sean Payton was the Saints coach. They used to just beat our butts. No matter we might get one or two here and there, but the Falcons always lost to the Saints under Sean Payton. So and that's how I see it with it. Nick Saban ain't even there no more, and Kirby can't even get past Kalen DeBoer, who's not even the SEC coach, not even recruited in the SEC area. This man come to your neck of the woods and beat you in your own backyard. That's what's frustrating about this whole thing, bro. And as a fan, as a UGA, truly UGA fan, I'm really tired of it. You know what I mean? And but we're gonna get into the stats, man. And that boy Ty Simpson, and I'm gonna tell you something. The reason I'm agitated about this whole Georgia Alabama game last night. It's not that we lost. I'm agitated is because the second half, Alabama didn't even freaking score. So that let me know if you could shut them out at the second half, you could have stopped them in the first half. They just went down the field throwing touchdowns and catching all kind of bullshit. That was the frustrating to watch this. And then Mike Bobo, and now we almost like me and you talked earlier. It was gonna be an almost win type game. And that's what it was. Last year they jumped on us and we came all the way back and we almost won last year. This year, we almost won this year, and Kirby could have tied the ball game up. Instead, he went with a 4th and 1 and got tackled, turned the ball over, instead of kicking the field goal and being 24-24. So it's some bull job going on. And I'm like Lady T. I'm not even interested in really watching the Bama UGA game going forward. I'm just being honest with you.
No, which is part of the plan. It's part of that plan. Now, Georgia is going to beat them out of the next two games. Georgia's going to win one out of the next two games. It's part of the plan.
And I believe that, and I can see that, but at the same time, it's like Alabama. I believe you. When you say it's part of the plan, I truly believe that. We beat everybody else's ass. Alabama broke our undefeated record. Alabama again broke our home record. It's almost like you're right. It's something that the agreement was. We're gonna give you Kirby Smart,
Right.
but when it comes to Alabama, he can't beat us on a consistent basis. It does seem like some type of backdoor deal was made, bro. And I know my fans gonna be like, "Oh man, y'all conspiracy theories," but it's some bullshit, bro. You know what I mean? From an Abrew standpoint, and I'm cool with the fans. Like I said, I was talking with the fans today because I knew when I woke up I was gonna have about 100 comments, and we did. We had a lot of comments on our TikTok page, and I just told them good game, but it was some piss poor coaching from our standpoint of defense and offense. And when we stopped them, shut them boys out, they made time. What pissed me off, King David and Lady T. And I'm gonna let y'all tell. I'm just going on my rant right now because I'm pissed. But what pissed me off in the first half, they made it seem like Ty Simpson is a Hall of Fame quarterback, not Hall of Fame, but a Heisman Trophy quarterback. You know what I mean? But the second half, they shut the cat out, shut the whole team out. So that's some bullshit, bro. Y'all take over, bro, because I'm mad.
You can't let it get to you, Abrew. Can't let it get to you. I seen what was going on last night personally. You're gonna know the James Georgia's gonna win when they come out and like Kirby say sometimes we're gonna hunt tonight. When Georgia come out, they're gonna hunt. They're gonna win those games. But when they come out and they look like they're not interested, they look like they're unprepared. It's gonna be an almost win. That's the way it's gonna be playing out. To be perfectly honest with
I just want to chime in on what pissed me off about the game. We heard from Abrew, but my issue with Georgia, last night for this game was both sides of the football, both offense and defense, decided to play like garbage for the whole first half. I don't know what was up with the third down conversions. Alabama converted 12 of the 19 third downs they was on. Defense wasn't there. If defense is not going to be there, then offense needs to be there. It's like, and then like in the second half, the defense shows up. They don't get anything else done. But then where's offense? So we can't be off on both sides of the football for the entire game. And that would have been my strategy. At this point, the coaching staff, they're well aware of what kind of team they've got. We got to have a strategy going into this game to do something like on the opening possession, for example, we can't go 3 and out because we know that's probably what's going to happen when Alabama takes over the ball. So I got a strategy and we're going to play our best plays and we're going to march down the field and we're going to score. And we're going to get like the momentum going because Kirby has a big thing about calling out the fans. You had the fans there. It was like a nighttime game. The energy was there. The stadium was loud. You got to give the people something to work with, Kirby. Give them something to be excited. And I say Kirby instead of Bobo because at the end of the day, the person who is in charge of this team is Kirby Smart. Bobo can't do what Kirby don't allow him to do. And so I just feel like, yes, we got problems on both sides of the ball, and we didn't really see anything change from the first half to the second half. Yeah, defense showed up. It would have been nice if offense also showed up. But at the very least, the game plan should have been to come out scoring. Come with your best plays. I don't what do y'all think about those plays that was that Bobo called on the first drive? It just meh, we just warming up. Let's get, excited about this game, but let's just do a little something. 3 strikes, you're out. No problem. We'll just, keep it pushing. Like that's the energy I got. And if I was in that stadium and had paid $400 or more for those tickets, I probably would have got up and walked out.
I see exactly what Lady T is saying. She is an alumni of UGA, and it's hard to see your team lose like that. But I definitely see what King David said. Well, it had to be some type of backdoor deal, bro. Now that I'm starting to see, no matter who's in charge of Bama, no matter. We can't beat these guys. Last night, just looking at the stats over here, Ty Simpson, like I say, he was looking like a Heisman Trophy guy. And everybody who flood my damn our TikTok this today with unnecessary roughness did that picture where he hushing the crowd right before halftime. He knew the shit was over. He knew Georgia wasn't gonna score 24 points, but he knew that he probably was in on. They knew they weren't gonna score no more. You know what I mean? And that's what irritated me. He was 12. He was 24 for 38 for 276 yards, 7.3 average, 2 TDs, 0 touchdown. He the hottest quarterback in the. Everybody talking about how hot he is. He the hottest quarterback in the league in the NCAA right now. And so they pumping this kid, bro. They after that Florida State loss, they pumping this kid. It's part of the big agenda. And then I look over at Gunnar Stockton stats. He was 12 for 20. I mean, 13 for 20, 130 yards, 6.5 average, 1 TD. Gunnar didn't really want to run that first. So if the offense was stale and funky, it smelled like a pool hall with a bunch of cigarettes going on last night and an open beer. That's what it looked like watching this game. And I was just thrown off. Now that you bring something to me, but I was thrown off, and at the halftime, I did have to turn the TV off for a little while and change the channel because I was disgusted watching this mess. And I even took my damn Georgia jersey off, and people can say I ain't a fan, I'm a fan, but I couldn't watch that mess. It felt like it looked like burnt bologna, bro. For real, man, bro. King David, I was pissed.
And I definitely understand, Brew. I understand. I watched the game as well, and me and you kind of sent messages, so I definitely get it. I understand.
Yeah, bro. You know what is it? It's like I understand the deal, but golly, bro, it's
It's
like
a it's a
go ahead.
sacrifice, bro. Georgia might go on to win the championship this year because of something happened last year, which me and you talked about. We won't discuss that we believe is going to put Georgia over the top.
It did. Yeah. We did.
And
We
might even
did.
go on to win the championship this year. It's just you're not going to beat Bama. You're going to beat Kirby Smart. Going to beat Bama about 20 to 25% of the time, and that's going to be about it. But you're going to go on and win championships with it.
I can see that. I definitely can see that. Lady T, how do you feel being UGA is your alma mater? How do you feel only being able to beat them 20 to 25% of the time, knowing that Nick Saban is not there no more, but Kirby, who's supposed to surpass Nick Saban, I believe he will in championships eventually, can't get past Alabama. How does that make you feel? I know you went on a rant a few minutes ago, but really, as a true fan and alma mater, does it really get under your skin?
It does get under my skin. I think I'm gonna try to calm down over here, so my anger won't be coming out the entire show. But yeah, it does. It's very disappointing and it's aggravating. Um, is acceptable to just be just at 25% against Alabama? Maybe in the grand scheme of things, fellow alum and fellow fans that are out there, you might feel like, well, he does okay enough to make up for that. But I'm just like, from my experience in my work industry, I'm required to grow. If I'm still failing at the same weakness, sure, you want to let people flourish at what they are strong about, but I'm not allowed to be that subpar with any one thing pertaining to my job. So to me, my thing is if I'm in charge of the Georgia administration and the coaches, and like I'm the AD. Like I'm looking for some change. I want to push you a little bit. I want to like try to figure out what can I say to inspire you to do something different during this game, because you just can't seem to get over this hump. And then I'm going to try to get the best out of you in that area. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't even have to be, 50% of the time, but to do it 1 out of 9, or you know what I mean, that just isn't acceptable. And so for me, if I see the same thing year after year after year after year, then I'm just at the point that I would be really considering making some decisions. And I would hope that my person that I'm mentoring, just going to say the AD should be in a situation where he's mentoring the coach. I would like to see movement with him, with his staff. What are you doing to motivate your offensive coordinator? What are you doing to motivate your defensive coordinator? So all of those things are important, and everybody else in the world has to be accountable for that. And Kirby makes a lot of money, but I would be looking for change.
I got you on that. I got you on that. And but you know what? And King David, the reason I'm saying I know you're right is because if you look at the interview, I saw the interview with Dalen Everett after the game. And, and UGA don't really let you talk to the players right after the game, but for this particular game, the players was able to give some interviews still in the uniform in like the hallway area. They asked Dylan Everett what changed between the first half and the second half because they noticed Alabama was shut out. Dylan Everett, you could tell he didn't know. He probably wasn't even part of the plan. He was like, man, we just played more hard. We was playing a lot of soft coverage for the first half. But then they went in the halftime and say, hey, we got to tighten up and let's get more aggressive. Why the hell you want to be? Why you ain't being more aggressive after the first quarter? You gotta wait, and that's what this kid said. If you can look up the interview, this kid said that we was playing. They was calling soft coverages all game up until the to halftime. Then at the halftime, they started calling the solid defense, and then we shut these boys out. And I'm like, yeah, King David, you right on something. It was something going on with this particular situation here.
No, absolutely. Any other team would have won. Like I say, but with this particular team, we're not going to win. But yeah, and they always look unprepared, no matter who's the coaches, position coaches, no matter who the players. This particular game, they always look like they're not ready.
Hmm.
And that's only on one person, and the guy that's been here through it all.
Hmm. And and like I said, when I went back and looked at that play, we was in field goal range. That was a chip shot for our kicker.
Would have tied the game.
Would have tied the game. And the way the defense was playing in the second half, we was playing lights out, bro. We would have won that game. You call a 4th and 1. You call a run play and try to go for on a 4th and 1 instead of tying the game up. I didn't understand it. It ain't rocket science, but hey, it's bigger than me. It's bigger. It may be something, but we ain't not gonna harp over that. I'm so tired. I'm tired of losing to Bama. I'm like Lady T. The games ain't even exciting no more to watch against Bama. Now next week we gonna beat the hell out of Mark Stoop. You know, what I mean, we gonna Mark Stoop always play us tough, but watch how we beat. Now we gonna beat Mark Stoop next week. We gonna beat Kentucky convincingly next week. It ain't proper. We gonna beat the boy by 2 touchdowns easily. You know what I mean? And so it is frustrating to watch, man. But we gonna move on, man. And y'all want to close out? Y'all got anything else to close out on this UGA situation?
No, I really don't. Like I said, I believe they're still gonna go on and have a lot of success. This might be the only loss they're gonna have. I believe they're gonna definitely make the playoffs. So if they lose
Mhm.
one more, they're gonna make the playoff. But they're gonna go on and have a lot of success and probably even maybe win the championship behind them. To be honest.
How about you, Lady T? You got anything you want to add to this UGA Bama situation?
No, I think I'm ready to move on.
I feel you, Lady T. I definitely feel you. And King David, one last thing. I think we'll make the playoff. We gonna make the playoff, and I think we're gonna see Bama again in the playoff. And I think it'll be different. I do think it'll be different.
Out
Like
of
we
the next
did
two,
that,
we're gonna win.
like that time we lost to them in the SEC championship, and then we ended up beating them in the championship. But you talked about that a couple of years ago when that happened.
To be perfectly honest, Brew, I don't think Bama's gonna make it. I don't
You
think
know,
they're gonna make the playoff. They already got a loss. I don't think they're gonna make it. I think they're gonna lose another one and maybe two more.
I could see that. But they Super Bowl is to beat Georgia. So yeah, but it is what it is, man. You wanna talk you wanna open up about this Falcon game? I opened about UGA. You wanna open up about the Falcon game and what you saw and what you thought about the coaching today and the players?
The coaching was definitely better in the Falcons game. There's more physical. They opened up the playbook a little bit more where Penix is more comfortable with throwing down the field. Um, so they looked at way better today than they did last week. Now, of course, Falcons, no typical fashion, they're gonna make it very dramatic at the end, and especially when it's but
Yep.
they looked it better. They looked it more physical, and they looked like they was better prepared. Even though Washington didn't have their two best offensive weapons in Jay Danes and Terry McLaurin,
Hmm.
but still, you play and do what you got to do when it's uh, your time to play them. That's them problem, not ours. But they look definitely better.
Exactly. And one of the things I wasn't worried about Mariota. Anybody who throwing the ball up in the air from on his back when he was with Atlanta. But I can't believe that the Falcons allowed that game to be that close to come down to possibly onside kick. It's like the Georgia teams, I don't care who you rooting for, the Hawks, the Braves, the Falcons, the Five Strikes, UGA, Tech, I don't, they gotta make it stressful, bro. They just gotta make it stressful. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous. This is just ridiculous, bro. I'm like, I just want to beat somebody's ass convincingly. You know what I mean? I want to put these numbers on you. Lady T, you want to chime in on what you thought about this Falcon game today?
Yeah, at the end, it did come down to quite a nail biter, and I was worried about that onside kick. I was really excited to see that ball like go toward the Falcons side of the field, and I just was thinking like, oh my goodness, what if that ball had a bounce back into the hands of the opponent? So we were lucky in that aspect. But I will say this, I want to thank the Falcons for saving my weekend because after Saturday's mess, last night's mess, I didn't think I had it in me to watch another football game. But the way the Falcons opened up, I feel like, oh, okay, it's safe. You know what I mean? I'm going to watch a good football game. And for the most part, the entire game was exciting except for there at the end. So I'm glad we pulled off the W and just glad to have a good weekend saved by the Falcons. For the first time, I didn't think I would say that. I didn't think that I would say the Falcons would be saving my weekend, but I'm glad it went that way.
I got you on that. Let's look at the numbers for Penix, man. He was 20 for 26, 313 yards, average 12 yards, two TDs, one interception. And he knew that was going to be an interception when he threw the ball, man. As soon as the ball was released, Penix was like, he knew that it was being picked off. The playbook was opened up today for him. I've seen a lot of deep shots. I saw Drake London. I saw the Drake London that I thought that we should have had at the first three games of the season. But like we said earlier, when you don't play in the preseason, these first 3 or 4 games are your preseason. And Drake hit some big catches, man. A couple deep ones today. And I was happy to see my man Kyle Pitts getting the mix. He had 70 yards, and so I was happy. I was happy to see Kyle Pitts, man. And Bijan, we know what we're gonna get out of Bijan. Bijan is special. He's a special guy, and I was really impressed with the offense. I was impressed with the defense, but then all of a sudden the defense kind of just start letting Washington just do what want to do. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is Mariota, bro.
Right. I agree. Like I said, it's typical Falcons fashion. They score a touchdown, they let you score a touchdown. So,
Hmm.
so I don't know. It's definitely some improvements. I believe we're going into the bye week with the Falcons. So
Hmm.
hopefully they fix some things, get some rest, get healthy, and hopefully they fix some things where they're not putting so much stress on the fans going forward.
Do you think this season has to be playoff or nothing? He at least got to make playoff. Think Raheem got to make playoff to keep his job.
Absolutely, 100%. If I'm the owner, absolutely.
Yeah, with the amount of weapons that he have, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Michael, Michael Penix Jr. And I got on Michael Penix Jr. Last week, and doing the show, and I was like, I don't believe he's the guy. Let me clear that up because somebody made a comment like, he only had one bad game, and you ready to throw him away. It wasn't that I was ready to throw him away. I was looking for him to. I'm with him being coach, but I was looking for Michael Penix Jr. to make better plays and better throws. He was drafted number 8 overall. I was looking at we should be able to put points up from, and he's not a young quarterback. He's much older. I think Michael Penix is 20, 26, 27 years old. So he just seen a lot of football in his day. So that's what I was saying. Did we got the right guy? I believe we do have the right guy, but I was saying I was expecting to see better decision making from that standpoint of the last week's game against Carolina.
Yeah, I think a lot of that might have been on the coach Brew and not putting him in the right position and not
Mhm.
having them boys prepared. They didn't look prepared even last week, like they didn't practice nothing. So I believe that was more the coaches than him. But yeah, you need to make better decisions in the moment. So,
Yeah, I'm with that. And now today I kept hearing the announcer saying that the Falcons got the number one passing defense. During the game, I was like, we got no more pass defense. We got our ass lit up for 30 last week. So it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense for him to say that, but they kept saying that the Falcons got the number one pass defense. So I don't know about that, but I have to do my research on that. But from an offensive standpoint, I did like to see that we put up 34 points today. I did like the defense giving them 27 points. What you think, lady, see about the offense and defense? Could we be better? Do we got room for improvement? What you trying
Yeah, obviously we can make some improvements for sure. I think I enjoyed watching the offense. The defense should not have, made it that close or made it to where we came in like we did at the end of the game. But definitely some room for improvement with this bye week.
I got a quick question for you, Lacey, before you go away from us. What do you grade the Falcons and Raheem coaching style? Raheem, the Falcons. Would you grade the Falcons team and the coaching staff today? What do you grade them?
That's a good question. Maybe I'm grading the team. I grade the team maybe like a B today, which is an improvement over last week. Um, I yeah, I give them a B. And the coaching staff, I thought that the play calling was aggressive enough on offense. It just was the defense that fell short. So maybe I give the coaching staff maybe a B minus.
I got you. What you grade them, King David?
I would agree with Lady T. I give them a B. Um, like I said, the playbook was open. It was more aggressive. The team itself, I believe, the coaching staff did make some mistakes at halftime. I have no idea what they was trying to do at halftime when they didn't call a timeout that would have gave them more time, and then they tried to throw the ball down the field, end up having to punt. So I was confused at what they was doing there. But overall, yeah, I'm with Lady T. I would give them a B minus today for the job they done.
BB minus. I got y'all on that. And I would say from an offensive standpoint, offensive, yeah, I give them a B. Defense, I give them a C plus because we gave them too many points. And with Raheem, I think he was embarrassed last week, giving up 30 points. and which he should. The whole team should have been embarrassed. But one last thing I want to ask both of y'all. Last week, because we didn't get to do a show midweek. Last week, when we gave up 30 points and we went a zero. We scored. We didn't even score. We got shut out and blew out. They end up firing. Lady T, I want you to start on this. They end up firing the wide receivers coach, and I want to know what the hell the wide receiver coach had to do with us scoring points. What do you think on that, Lady T? Do you think the wide receiver coach was the scapegoat for the embarrassment last week?
Potentially, if you don't want to do anything with the offensive coordinator, if you don't want to make any moves or any calls for that particular position. Um, but there's some things that we don't see. So I don't know if, the offensive coordinator might have been working with the receivers coach or something. Maybe the synergy was off. Maybe something that particular coach was supposed to be doing that he wasn't doing, and maybe that brought about him losing his position. I do appreciate the fact that somebody was held accountable in that team, just 'cause I'm a big accountability person, and I think that the Falcons has a ways to go. And so by the fact that they made some move, and we're not privy to understanding maybe why that happened. I don't know if that's in the media or written somewhere, but maybe we should take a look at that, because I think that maybe that could have been a reason if something was not cohesive. But I understand your conspiracy theory thought process too.
King David, what you think about that? What you think about Ike here being fired last week after the 30-0 blowout and shutout? Was he a scapegoat or the sacrificial lamb for the team? Embarrassment?
It does look like he was on a scapegoat, but at the same time, I see what Lady T was saying. We don't know what was going on behind the scene, and after this performance today, the team looked better. I just don't know why they couldn't do that last week. Was he that bad of a coach? I don't know, but just from the outside looking in, it does look like he was a scapegoat because it don't look like the receivers were the problem last week. Look at like it was maybe play calling from Zach
Mm-hmm.
Robinson and Michael Penix, which that might have been on the quarterback's coaching as well as how bad he played last week. So I felt those two players should have been, the coaches should have been held more accountable than the receivers coach. But again, we're on the outside looking in, don't know the inner workings of behind the scenes and what was going on.
But we don't, and I can see that. I can see that. And me personally, yeah, they might have been beefing, but the fighter man, nobody used to get fired in week 3 on the team because the team is still going, even if you're beefing with the coach. That was unbelievable. So I think he was a scapegoat. I think it was personal, whatever might be going on. And they used that as that, and then put TJ Yates, who's the quarterback coach, over the receivers coach. He might have been beefing with TJ Yates. Uh, so yeah, they did look better today. But at the same time, I hate it for Ike here. He's been around a long time of the Falcons organization, and in my personal opinion, I think it was a scapegoat. So Falcons are on a bye week next week, so they'll get a chance to rest up and heal. But I'm happy with what I'm seeing. And before we shut it off, man, I want y'all to give a prediction of the UGA Kentucky game. Kentucky is 2-2. They won the first one, lost the second, won the third one, lost the fourth one, and now we're the 5th game. Do they get a win against UGA? King David, I'll let you start on this. Do Kentucky get a win, and what are your predictions for the score?
No, Kentucky gonna lose again. UGA coming off a loss, they gonna beat the blue off Kentucky. It's probably gonna be, and plus we know he don't really like Stoops like that.
Mhm.
So it's probably going to be somewhere around 40-20.
Mhm.
It's going to be my prediction. 40 UGA, 20 Kentucky.
What do you? I can see that. I can see that. Lady T, what you think about the prediction of UGA Kentucky next week?
I'm gonna say Georgia 32-17.
I can see that. I can see that too. I do see a lopsided win. Um, even though Kentucky always plays tough, but Kirby always tend to prevail against Harple and Stoops, you know what I mean? And I think Georgia coming off a loss. People are going to be talking all week about Kirby, his staff, and so they're going to be coming out to prove a point. So I think, unfortunately for Kentucky, they're catching us at a wrong time. I think it's going to be an embarrassing win for them. I think going forward, it's going to be an embarrassing win for a lot of teams after this one right here, Norfolk State. But I think it's going to be like 38-17. I do think we could probably going to win at least 2 touchdowns, but I can possibly win by 3 touchdowns on this because they got to bounce back. They got to get the taste out of their mouth and they got to get back in the rankings because Alabama was ranked number 13 or something like that. So we probably going to fall to 10. We probably going to be in the fall to 10, and now it's going to be a toss-up, even though it's a lot of ball left, but it's going to be a toss-up, and we got to fight now to get back in the top 5, if we can get back in the top 5. Yeah. So with that, man, Lady T, what you got? What you got to say? I think.
Yeah, so I was looking at the Falcons schedule, and even though we have a bye, the Bills are up on October the 13th. And I just want to say that I have a fantasy team, and my quarterback belongs to the Bills. So I'm excited about this game, and I'm going to be happy if our Falcons win. Of course, I'm rooting for the Falcons, but I also want my quarterback to do really well because I am now. It looks like I'm going to win this week, so I think I'm going to be like 3-1. I'm excited about that.
Okay, so you need the Falcons to win, but Josh Allen to have a
Okay.
big game.
All right.
Yes.
I'm hoping Josh Allen throws 700 yards, but they still end up losing by 3. He could throw 700 yards and let him throw all day long. And when he get down to like the 10-yard line, they fumble interception. And then he go back and start at the 5 and throw all the way down the field, and they fumble interception again. So he got some hell of a well. If he turn the ball over, your stats gonna be low on Fantasy 5. So I want him all the success. But at the end of the game, I hope the score stay Falcons, Bills, and call it good. You know, I don't care if it's 21-20. I just want the Falcons to win.
That's right.
So, hey, man, you got any closing remarks, King David?
No, like I say, look forward to next week. Hoping the Georgia bounce back and take care of business. The Falcons gonna be off, so we hopefully won't have to use our defibrillators. Being stressed out. So let's go, dogs. Let's get back on track. Sick 'em.
Let's get back on track. Second, Lady T, you got any closing remarks you want to add?
Dogs, I'm hard on y'all, but it's like a parent and a child. I'm hard on you because I love you. So yes, go dogs, sick 'em. Let's get after these Wildcats next week. Let's turn this thing around and let's have a good rest of the season.
You know, it was hard on me last night. I even think I shed a tear a little bit. But you know, man, at the end of the day, I woke up and I was still a dog, still a damn dog. And I damn sure hate them elephants, but it is what it is. Until next time, man. Abrew Yasharel, King David, Lady T, Unnecessary Ruffness. Y'all be good. Until next time.
Peace.